Hey guys, this is PJ, and thanks for checking out this video. I entitled it "The Filter," which we will find out what that means later. I want to go over two things real quick. Worry, which we all do. I do it, and it's one of those things where you know you shouldn't do it, but you do it anyway. In Matthew 6, Jesus tells us specifically, "Don't worry," because He's got it covered. So why do we worry? You know, what does it mean to worry? Um, some look at it as putting the situation in their own hands. So if we worry about something, that shows that we don't believe God is big enough to handle it, or that He's not powerful enough or loving enough to involve Himself with it. Uh, you know, but yet we still worry. It's human. I think it's human instinct. I don't know. I'm not a biology major, but so how do we overcome worry? The second thing, I said two things. The second thing is thoughts. Um, there's always a battle over our thoughts in our mind, whether to think of something awesome or whether to think of something bad, whether to think of something holy or whether to think of something sinful. There's always a battle going on. And thought, a sinful thought is not sin until you dwell in it and entertain that thought to the extent of it becoming sin. So how do we overcome worry? How do we overcome the battle of thoughts? The Bible gives a few answers, actually quite a bit. Hebrews 3:1 says to fix our thoughts on Jesus. Romans 12:2 says to renew our mind by not conforming to the world. But the thing I want to focus today on is Philippians 4:6-8. I believe that these three verses are the key to overcoming every situation that you worry about and every thought that is in your head. So let's start. Verse 6 of chapter 4 in Philippians says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in everything by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." So every time that we encounter a situation where we start to worry, we should make it a habit where we immediately think of Philippians 4:6. Okay, don't be anxious about anything. Okay, I'm worrying about this, but no, stop. I don't have to worry because by prayer, petition, and thanksgiving, we present our request to God. But what happens with that? What happens when we pray and give thanks to God? Verse 7, "And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds." So when we pray and give thanks about everything, God will put a barrier in our mind and in our heart against these thoughts, against these worries that we have. And, it's a peace that we can't understand. It says it transcends all understanding. So we can't understand it, but yet we rely on it so that we don't have to worry about the situation that we're in. We know that we can overcome it because God lives in us and that the peace is in us. And that happens when we pray and give thanks about everything. Not just the major things, but everything, every little thing. And sometimes the little things are the biggest things. And then verse 8, this is what I call the filter. It says, "Finally, brothers, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent or praiseworthy, think of these things." So if we have a thought or we have a worry, then we just run it through the filter of verse 8. A thought comes to us and we don't know what to do with it, then just run through the filter. Is this thought true? Yes. Okay. Keep going. Is it noble? It could be. Is it pure? No. If it's not, if it doesn't meet every criteria in that filter, stop thinking about it. Simple as that. And if it's hard to stop thinking about it, then go back to verse 6. Pray and give it to God. Because if you continually give everything to God, His peace will continually be in you, and you'll constantly live in peace without worrying. And yes, it sounds awesome, and it is easier said than done, but it can be done. You just have to work at it. Just like everything else, you have to work at it. You gotta memorize. Memorizing is the key. You gotta memorize Philippians 4, 6 through 8. And every time a worry comes, or every time a thought that might be bad comes into your head, immediately think, okay, Philippians 4, 6, don't worry. Don't be anxious. But pray. Okay, I didn't do that yet. Pray. And then you give it to God. Peace of God comes in. You're good. Or if a thought comes, you don't know what to do with it, then run it through the filter. If it doesn't pass through the filter, think of something else. If it does pass through the filter, that's awesome. You're thinking a pure thought. You're thinking an honorable thought. So yeah, that is the filter. I hope you guys, start applying this to your lives, because I really think it'll change you the way it changed me. The other day, I started worrying about something that was frivolous, and I immediately thought, okay, Philippians 4, 6, don't be anxious, give it to God. So I gave it to God, and I didn't worry about it anymore, So it can be done. You just got to work at it. So memorize 4, 6 through 8, run thoughts through the filter, don't worry, give everything to God, and that's pretty much it. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. See you later. But wait, there's more. I want to challenge you with one question. Who is worthy of your thoughts?